The death of a paranormal researcher. Gaurav Tiwari was trained to be a commercial pilot in Florida when he started getting nightly visitations from an unseen entity. The experience troubled him so much that the former skeptic went on to make a living out of ghost hunting. He was a familiar face in both his native India and around the world, and regularly appeared on primetime TV as a paranormal expert. His shows included MTV Girls' Night Out, sci-fi series Haunting Australia, and MTV, as well as guest appearances on many other shows. Gaurav's take on the paranormal was slightly different to others, and he was never afraid to dispel myths, and readily admitted that 98% of all the cases he had been called to investigate were hoaxes. However, the 2% that did turn out to be real were enough to convince him that ghosts exist. He once said that a ghost is nothing but the residual consciousness of a deceased physical body. In the life that person was evil, then in death its residual consciousness would also have sinister intent, although he admitted that most ghosts were harmless, and it was just the fear of the unknown that scares people. Gaurav's scientific approach to ghost hunting saw him rely on forensic methods, spectrometers and other electronic devices to draw conclusions. This technique, along with his matter-of-fact manner, lent credibility to his investigations, and he was well respected in the field. Gaurav also had an interest in ufology, and claimed UFOs were very real, and he personally had witnessed many of them. He was by far India's most famous paranormal investigator, so it came as a huge shock when in July 2016 he was found dead, lying on his bathroom floor with a thin black line across his neck. Initially, police were unable to establish his cause of death, but later ruled it was suicide by hanging. However, even his family and friends were unhappy with the investigation and the circumstances surrounding his death, and some have even claimed Gaurav was murdered because of his connection to the paranormal, or simply because he knew too much. Did one of those evil ghosts he talked about exact revenge on him, or did he get too close to the truth about UFOs, or was he just a very unhappy man? To date, there is no concrete evidence to support this, but that doesn't stop the speculation, and many of the headlines still refer to his death as mysterious. What do you make of this case? What made this sound? Spectrograms are a means of visualizing the energy and pitch of a particular sound in the sea. Most of these sounds are identified as volcanic tremors, ships, earthquakes, or aquatic creatures such as whales and dolphins. However, there are some sounds that are yet to be identified. One of those is known as upsweep. The weird sound was detected on the American NOAA's Equatorial Autonomous Hydrophone Arrays in August 1991. It consists of a long train of narrow-band eerie sound waves that spike in loudness. Take a listen. The sound in the file has been sped up 20 times from the actual sound, but it's still creepy. The source level of the eerie sound is high enough that it has been recorded through the Pacific Ocean. It appears to be seasonal, reaching its peak during spring and autumn, although it seems to be diminishing slightly as the years pass. Upsweep is different to other unidentified sounds, as it has remained continuous since its discovery in 1991, unlike the bloop that was only heard once, and was later discovered to have emanated from an iceberg cracking and breaking away from an Antarctic glacier. To date, there is still no official accepted explanation for upsweep. However, theories have included the sounds of an unidentified species of marine life, or the result of hot lava pouring into cold seawater from undersea volcanoes. What do you make of it? Is the Cecil Hotel the most haunted hotel in the world? It's hard to believe that one building had such a blood-drenched history. Since it was built in 1924, the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles has seen at least 16 murders, several suicides, and a plethora of freakish accidents. Is this all the result of a curse? Is there an evil attached to the building? Or is it all just a macabre coincidence? Over the years, the hotel has played host to serial killers, including the Hillside Strangler, Kenneth Bianchi, Australian serial killer Jack Unterweger, and the Night Stalker Richard Ramirez, who lived in a room on the top floor of the hotel during his horrific killing spree. One of the many disturbing events happened in 1944 when 19-year-old Dorothy Purcell was staying in the hotel with her lover Ben Levine. During the night, Dorothy awoke with agonizing stomach pains, and as she walked to the bathroom, she gave birth to a baby boy. She had no idea she was pregnant. In complete shock and thinking her newborn was dead, she threw her very much alive baby out of the window, and it landed on the roof of the building next door. Another freakish incident happened in 1962 when 65-year-old George Giannini was walking past the Cecil without a care in the world when he was hit and killed by 27-year-old Pauline Otten, who jumped from the 9th floor after an argument with her estranged husband. Her fall killed both her and Giannini instantly. A further grisly incident happened in 1947 with the death of Elizabeth Short, better known as the Black Dahlia, who shortly before she was mutilated was a guest at the Cecil Hotel. She was found on a street not far away with her mouth carved from ear to ear and her body cut in two. Her murder has never been solved. In recent years, perhaps one of the most mysterious deaths ever took place at the Cecil Hotel. Many of you will be aware of the story. It happened in 2013 when Canadian college student Elisa Lam was found dead inside a water tank on the roof of the hotel 3 weeks after she had gone missing. Her naked body was discovered after hotel guests had complained of low pressure and a funny taste to their water. A surveillance video of Elisa shortly before her disappearance was released to the public and went viral online. It shows Elisa acting strangely in an elevator, appearing to hide from someone while pressing multiple elevator buttons. Her death remains unsolved, but the video caused many to speculate that the hotel is cursed and some dark force is at work within its walls. In 2015, the Cecil served as a chilling inspiration for a season of American Horror Story about a hotel that's home to the most unimaginable murder and mayhem. Nowadays, the hotel has been remodeled as an affordable housing complex. But would any of you be brave enough to live there? If any of you have stayed there, we'd love to hear if you've experienced anything strange. Farafra Desert. Located just a few hours' drive from Cairo in Egypt is the White Desert, an eerie expanse of sand and calcium rock formations that give off the feeling of an alien landscape more suited to the surface of the moon than Earth. Formed by centuries of erosion and sandstorms, the unique rock formations rise out of the sand like ghostly statues, forming a spectacular but eerie backdrop. The landscape alone is enough to give you the creeps, but add to that the resident ghost, then you are in for an unsettling visit. The area is said to be haunted by Akhenaten, a hated pharaoh who abolished the worshipping of the old Egyptian gods and introduced new faiths and beliefs centered around Aten as the sole god of ancient Egypt. After 17 years of rule, Akhenaten died and was initially buried in a tomb at Royal Wadi in Amarna. In the years that followed, Akhenatten's sarcophagus was destroyed, although has since been reconstructed and now resides in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. When Tutankhamun came to power, Akhenatten's mummy was moved to tomb KV55 in Valley of the Kings, a tomb that was later desecrated. However, long before his resting place was disturbed, a curse has been placed on him by the priests and the religious followers of the old gods, and instead of going to the sacred afterlife, he was doomed to wander the deserts forever as punishment for the abolishment of their god. It is said to this day that his shadowy figure still endlessly roams around the desert of Farafra, floating around the ghostly monoliths, scaring the tourists who often spend the night camping in the desert, and unless you want to join him in his endless search for the afterlife, it is best to stay clear of his tortured shadowy figure. Dogcam Ghost. This next clip was captured on CCTV in 2021 in the backyard of Jake DeMarco's home in Melbourne, Australia. At first glance, it looks like two dogs playing around together. That is until you realise the only dog in the backyard is the black dog named Ryder. The yard is a secure fenced area designed to keep Ryder in, and so it would be impossible for any other dogs to enter. So who is the phantom translucent white dog, and where did it come from? Take a look. As soon as Jake saw the footage, he raced outside to see who Ryder was playing with. However, by the time he got there, the mysterious intruder had disappeared. It's not the first time a ghost dog has been caught on camera. It has long been believed that our pets come back from beyond the grave to visit their former owners. And to many, this is a great comfort after the death of a much-loved pet. Could this be a case of a long-deceased dog visiting its former home and finding a friend to play with? Or is it just that another dog did penetrate the dog-proof fence and scarpered as soon as Jake appeared? What do you think? So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you tomorrow for another creepy one.